Welcome back to Good Morning Interbike. We are here at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center for the 2013 edition of the Interbike Expo, and we are joined by Brian from Rolf Prima. Welcome to Good Morning Interbike.
It's good to be here.
So, Rolf Prima, everybody knows you for wheels,
right?
But for those people who don't know the history, give us an idea about the history of the company.
Yeah, a lot of people first got to know Rolf back in the late 90s. A guy named Rolf Dietrich invented paired spoking, and then he licensed it to Trek. So for 96 to 2001, Trek licensed the name Rolf and then made wheels. So a lot of people have the Vector Pro from 99, and they all come and tell us about how they loved it. And,
right.
But we've been independent since 2002 out in Eugene, Oregon.
And for those people who aren't familiar with paired spoking, describe what that means.
Well, paired spoking is bringing the spokes to the rim in groups of two. So one from the right flange, one from the left flange, and the idea is that we can offset the lateral forces that occur when you tighten a spoke. So when you tighten a spoke, it actually pulls the rim to the side of the flange that spoke came from.
Right.
If you bring them to the rim in a pair, you can offset those forces.
Why don't more people do that?
Well, because we had a patent on it.
Oh, there's a good reason there.
So Rolf Dietrich, the guy who originally started Rolf Wheels, he has several patents, and that's probably the one we're most known for. There's a lot of other patents that kind of add on to that to improve the wheel, but that's the one most people. So, I mean, other people have licensed it for sure, but that's probably why you don't see more of it, yeah.
You make your wheels in Oregon.
Yeah, we hand build every wheel that we have sold in the last 11 years. We've hand built in Eugene, Oregon.
I think that probably surprises people because that's not real usual, is it?
No, I mean there's certainly hand builders in the U.S., but it certainly I don't think it's a surprise. I mean, a lot of the hand building is done elsewhere or it's machine built, and we just find that really to get a wheel that is going to stay true, that you don't have to work on. We just find that you can't beat a good quality build. So, and we believe that that's going to be done by hand.
So I don't want to get into details, of market and all of that, but I mean, when you talk about hand building a wheel, first of all, how long does it take to hand build a wheel?
Yeah, and it depends on the wheel, for sure. But box to box, it's actually close to a couple hours. It can be, from taking parts out of a box to putting wheels back in a box. And the cool thing is we've got everyone at our shop rides. So, our wheel builders, they race cross, some of them race track, some, ride just for fun, but they understand what they want in a wheel. So they're essentially building wheels that they want to ride. So, I mean, they get it. It's not like we're having just somebody build wheels. These are all people who really are into it. So
when you're buying a Rolf wheel that you're getting something that's been hand built by somebody who cares about the product, a great deal. What kind of volume are you talking about then? I mean, how many wheels can you ship in a week, a month, a year?
Oh, man, it varies. I mean, there's busy times, there's slow times. We're probably bigger than most people think, but we're still a small company. I mean, we're 15 employees or so.
Wow.
Changed on the time of the year, but some people think we're some huge company, but we're pretty efficient.
Nice.
We found a lot of techniques that we can do that actually help us build wheels pretty quickly. Relative to machines and better, we think. So,
what'd you bring with you today?
Brought with us the Elan Alpha disc. So this is a road wheel. A lot of people know us for our high-end alloy, either our Vigor, which is a deep section, or the Elan light climbing wheel. And this actually, curiously enough, is a rim profile that we've been working on ourselves in-house. We're just bringing some of our rim manufacturing in-house.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. So. This is we do various versions of this particular wheel. This is the Elan Alpha disc. We do it in non-disc version. Ceramic bearings, super light, great climbing wheel, great all-around road wheel. Of course, hand built in Eugene.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about road disc. Are you seeing more road disc wheels going through your factory?
Yes and no. I mean, we're an aftermarket, and because we hand build in Eugene, you don't really chase the OEM business. That a lot of that stuff is assembled elsewhere.
Sure.
We don't, build wheels in Eugene, ship them to Taiwan. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So I think that's where the volume is right now. I think we're going to see it in just a couple of months as people, buy their disc brake bikes, want to upgrade the wheels that came on the bike. That's where we see it. And that's kind of how it went with 27.5 or 650B. Sure. Basically, we were just a few months behind, the big media push about 650B. And that's because people are upgrading that.
Yeah. So then I have to ask you, from a ratio standpoint, this is sort of the question I'm always asking people this. I'm still trying to understand this market. 26, 27.5, 29. What are you seeing?
26 Not much.
Gone.
Yeah, pretty gone. And I think 27.5 is going to replace that. Again, for aftermarket, it's still, for us, it's more 29. 27 growing pretty quickly. So, where it's going to end up, talking to our friends at, some of the bike manufacturers, they're definitely seeing a bigger switch to 27.5 earlier.
Yeah.
And like I said before, with the disc brakes, we're going to lag a little bit behind that. So I'm going to even out.
Yeah. You mentioned rims. Mm-hmm. And we were talking before we went on about so much rim manufacturing happening overseas.
Right.
And you guys are now gearing up to soon start building rims right here in the United States. I mean, you're laughing.
Yeah, I'm starting to sweat a little bit.
Thinking, are you crazy?
It's a labor of love for sure. I mean, like I was saying before, everyone at our shop rides, and we really want to. We take a lot of pride in hand building our wheels. We've been working with White Industries in California to make custom hubs for us for the last 10 years, and we do a lot of that hub assembly ourselves. We design it, work with them, and this is kind of a logical next step. We're, like I said before, we're a small company. We consider ourselves one of the bigger small companies. So, we work with some of the great rim vendors, but it's hard to get exactly what you want. Yeah. And we spend a lot of time, in the wind tunnel in our own in-house testing to design a rim, designing it via FEA and then testing it. And there's a reason why we want to do things the way we want to do them, and we want to have more control over that process. So, it's certainly not a cost-saving move. I'm laughing because it's certainly not a cost-saving move,
right.
But it's a great investment. It's nice for us to be able to bring it in-house, have more control over it, and really feel like we know this process from start to finish. We know this rim's been. When someone says, "Who makes your rims?" I can just say,
"We do."
David, Curtis. So, and it's kind of fun. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a great thing, and obviously it is going to be a process because you want to get it right.
Yeah.
So no dates of when that's going to happen, but soon.
Yeah, I mean, the way we look at that, people ask that question. There's no rim button. You just hit the button and rims start shooting out. I mean, it's definitely there's a lot involved. We actually started this process a long time ago. We're really just bringing it online now because there's a lot of development and testing. And like I said before, we've got great rims now. Mm-hmm. We think we can do them better, but there's no sprint to, oh, God, we got to change over. Things are good now. We just want to do them ourselves. So, we're looking forward to it. But, it's definitely a process. Bringing in more people, more engineering, more machining, and
as you've been telling people here at the show, hey, we're going to be doing this soon. What's the reaction? Yeah,
people are pretty surprised. I mean, definitely you're asking, are you nuts? Yeah, I mean, you certainly get that. I mean, it's definitely bucking the trend. Over the last 15 years, a lot of the metalworking of manufacturing has gone overseas. I mean, there's still great companies in White Industries that still making all their stuff here. And one of the reasons we work with them is because of that.
Sure.
But people are surprised. I mean, they also I think they're surprised that it's us, because we're hand builder, we're smallish, but it's an investment we think is good for us. It's good for our customers, and
Walk me through the process. A customer comes to you and says, I know your brand, I know your reputation, I definitely want to upgrade my bike, but they certainly have some choices there. How do you?
Are there other?
Yeah, right.
Wheel makers?
How do you take them through that process so that they know that they're getting the exact setup that they need?
Sure. I mean, one of the things that we pride ourselves on is our customer service. I mean, if you call up, you're going to get a person, and if you call it multiple times, you could probably get that same person multiple times if you want to. Like I said, we're smaller. So, I mean, you want to spend a half hour on the phone? No problem. We'll do that. So if someone's got questions, they call us. You email us. We're not one of those email banks that just goes into the black hole. I mean, we're going to get back to you. But we also work through our shops. So we're very heavy on working through bike shops. We don't go direct. I mean, we're working through bike dealers. And we've got great ones. And a lot of them have been with us for 10 years, and they understand the product, they understand the wheels, they know the customer, and honestly, they do a great job of selling it for us. And if someone calls us and says, hey, I'm in such and such city, we can say, look up, oh yeah, you need to go to this bike shop, they've got them in stock, they've got demos, you can go ride them.
Nice.
That's a big thing. I mean, your wheels are a big investment. If someone wants to ride them beforehand, we have a demo program, so you can do exactly that. You can test ride it before you buy it.
Yeah, it's funny that there's other categories of product where I know people who have, I've got a closet full of that because I couldn't find the one I wanted. So being able to demo wheels, especially as you said, at the investment, you want to make sure you're getting the wheel that's right for you.
Well, yeah, and because we're small, there's certain things I think we can do that others can't. Like, say on our carbon line, you got a pink bike, we can do pink wheels and have pink decals, no problem. You know, it's really not that hard. You know, our decal maker is in the U.S., so it's really straightforward. Someone needs a particularly custom build, you know, maybe they're a bigger guy and they want a different spoke set. You know, if we can do it, you know, we hand build everything, so it's not a problem for us to consider that.
Well, that's the benefit of again, being here where the consumers are and being a smaller company. So good luck with the rims, pushing that rim button, getting them to come out.
Yeah, well, when we finally get that button, I'll let you know. I think it's going to be a little while.
Nice. Thanks for joining us, and good morning,
Yeah,
Interbike.
sure, man. It's great to be here.
Really appreciate it. We'll be back with more from the Interbike 2013 Expo right here at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. Stay subscribed to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you again soon.